There is a tree growing across the eastern half of America, in backyards and fence lines and old farm lots, that produces a green husk most people rake up and throw away every autumn, never knowing that for thousands of years that exact husk was one of the most trusted parasite medicines on Earth. Native American healers used it. Colonial doctors prescribed it. The Amish still give it to their livestock every season to this day, and it sits at the center of one of the most controversial medical theories of the last century, a theory that a discredited researcher built her entire life around, that a declassified intelligence document is now said to reference, and that the comment sections of the internet will not stop talking about. The tree is so valuable that thieves cut them down in the dark and haul them away, and the medicine inside its husk is so cheap and so unpatentable that no pharmaceutical company will ever spend $1 to study it. This is the green hull of the black walnut, and the story around it is one of the strangest in all of plant medicine. Welcome to Lost Plant Remedies. Let me be clear and honest with you from the very first minute, because this subject demands it. I'm going to tell you the documented, traditional and scientific story of black walnut as an antiparasitic, which is real and well established. I am also going to tell you about the far more controversial theory that links parasites to cancer, because it is the reason this plant is being talked about everywhere right now. But I'm going to tell you the truth about that theory, including the parts its supporters leave out. This is a plant with genuine power and a story wrapped in genuine controversy, and you deserve both halves of it. The documented history first, because it is rock solid. The black walnut, Juglans nigra, was used by Native American nations across its range, the Cherokee, the Iroquois, and others, who took the inner bark and the green hull for intestinal complaints, for fungal skin infections like ringworm, and for expelling worms. When European colonists arrived, they adopted the use immediately, because European herbalists already knew the black walnut's old world cousin for exactly the same purpose. By the 1800s, black walnut hull was a standard entry in the American botanical pharmacy, prescribed for intestinal parasites in both people and animals. And in the Amish and old order farming communities of Pennsylvania and Ohio, the practice never stopped. To this day, Amish farmers use black walnut hull preparations to deworm their horses, cattle, and goats on a regular schedule, a living tradition that has run unbroken for centuries while modern agriculture moved on to synthetic chemicals. The science behind why it works is genuine. The green hull of the black walnut is rich in a compound called juglone, a naphthoquinone that the tree produces as a natural defense, and juglone has documented antifungal, antibacterial, and antiparasitic activity in laboratory studies. It is the same compound that makes the soil under a black walnut tree hostile to other plants, a phenomenon gardeners know well. Black walnut hull is also high in tannins, which create an environment in the gut that many parasites cannot tolerate. In traditional practice, it was almost always combined with two other bitter herbs, wormwood and clove, into what herbalists call the classic three-part parasite formula, each ingredient targeting a different stage of a parasite's life cycle. This combination has been used for so long across so many cultures that its antiparasitic reputation is about as well established as folk medicine gets. Now the controversial part, and I'm going to give it to you straight. In the 1990s, a researcher named Hulda Clark published a series of books, the most famous titled The Cure for All Cancers, in which she claimed that all cancer was caused by a common intestinal parasite combined with environmental toxins, and that killing the parasite, primarily with black walnut hull, wormwood and clove, could cure the disease. Her book sold enormously and made black walnut a household name in alternative health circles. The comment sections of videos like this one are full of people who believe she was right, and who now point to a declassified document they say supports a link between parasites and cancer. So here is the honest truth you will not get from the people selling you the protocol. Hulda Clark's specific claim that a single parasite causes all cancer, and that her protocol cures it, is not accepted by mainstream science, and has never been demonstrated in a controlled clinical trial. Clark was prosecuted for practicing medicine without a license, and she herself died of cancer in 2009. That does not mean black walnut is worthless. Far from it, but it does mean that anyone who tells you a backyard tree is a guaranteed cure for cancer is making a claim that the evidence does not support, and that I will not make to you. What is true is that black walnut is a real and respected antiparasitic. What is unproven is that parasites cause cancer or that this plant cures it. Hold both of those facts at once because the people on both extremes will try to make you drop one of them. So why has this genuinely useful plant never been studied properly, never standardized, never brought into the mainstream where its real antiparasitic benefits could help people safely? The answer is the same answer it always is on this channel. You cannot patent a tree that grows wild in half the country. A pharmaceutical company will spend $1 billion proving a molecule works only when it owns that molecule and can sell it for 20 years. Black walnut hull can be gathered for free by anyone with a tree and a pair of gloves, so there is no one with a financial reason to fund the trials that would tell us exactly how well it works and exactly how to use it safely. The knowledge sits in the margins, in herbalist traditions and Amish barns and internet forums, precisely because there is no money in carrying it into the light. And meanwhile, the tree itself has become so valuable for its dark, prized lumber that timber thieves cut mature black walnuts down in the night and haul them away, because a single old tree can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Here is how the green hull is actually used, with the care it demands. The medicine is in the husk while it is still green, in early to mid-autumn, before it blackens and rots, when the juglone content is at its peak. People who make the tincture gather the green hulls wearing gloves, because juglone stains skin and clothing a deep brown that lasts for weeks. Chop them, pack them into a jar, and cover them with high-proof alcohol or raw apple cider vinegar, steeping for several weeks before straining into a dropper bottle. The traditional antiparasitic course uses small doses, often building up over days, frequently alongside wormwood and clove, and always for a limited period rather than continuously. Black walnut is also used externally, the tincture or a salve applied directly to ringworm and fungal skin infections, where its antifungal action is on its strongest documented ground. And now the cautions, which on this plant are not optional. Black walnut is potent, and potent means it must be respected. Do not use it if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Do not take it continuously for long periods, because the same compounds that fight parasites can stress the system in excess. Anyone with a tree nut allergy should avoid it entirely. If you are being treated for any serious illness, including cancer, black walnut is not a replacement for medical care, and anyone who tells you to abandon your treatment for a tincture is endangering your life. Talk to a knowledgeable practitioner before starting any parasite protocol. This is a real medicine, and real medicines are exactly the ones that demand real respect. So consider what has actually happened here. The pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know that a free backyard tree has been deworming people and livestock for 2,000 years. They will not tell you that the Amish never stopped using it. They will not tell you that its antiparasitic and antifungal activity is documented in the laboratory. They will not tell you that the only reason it has never been properly studied is that no one can own it. But the people selling you miracle cures online will not tell you the other half either, that the cancer theory wrapped around this plant is unproven, and that its loudest champion died of the very disease she claimed to cure. You deserve all of it. The truth is more useful than either fantasy, because here is what this plant really is. It is not a miracle, and it is not a fraud. It is a genuine, ancient, powerful antiparasitic medicine that grows for free in your own yard, that has been used safely for centuries by people who understood it, and that was pushed to the margins not because it failed, but because it could never be sold. The knowledge of how to use it belongs to you, and so does the honesty about its limits. Every person who learns both the power and the truth of this tree is one more person who cannot be fooled by the liars on either side. If this opened something for you, subscribe to Lost Plant Remedies before this video disappears, because we cover the plants and the forgotten knowledge that powerful industries would rather you never went looking for, and we tell you the honest truth about it. And if you want me to walk you through making a black walnut tincture safely, along with 4 other forgotten remedies, grab my free 5-day course, The Lost Ferment, linked in the description below. It costs nothing. The truth about this tree was never a secret. It was just inconvenient.